Yay Networks.
Welcome, everybody.
I was about to come in like, hello, hello, hello.
It's like we have to be in character or something when we're coming in.
I can't just be like, hey guys, what's up? And just like, hello, hello, hello.
What is that even from?
I don't know. It feels like a 40s, like copper in London. Like, I don't know. Clearly, it's obviously a really good impression since you knew exactly what it was.
I feel like I've heard it before. I just didn't know what it was from.
I'm Emily. That's Laura. And this is a cheers to that shit.
Thank you. That was good.
Yep, good timing. What's going on in life?
Just living the dream.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Working on any accents or anything?
Can't say that I am. I am working on my fabulous modeling career, though.
Oh, shit!
There's a little boutique by my house there's two boutiques by my house. And usually when I go up there to shop in one, I usually hit up both. They're both completely different styles of clothing. And
well, I like one of the stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just trying to identify what my style actually is. And I flip flop between, what's current and today and maybe what's, for the older woman, which, I am, but I don't want to be. Anywho, I do like a lot of their things in there. So got into a conversation with the owner and I follow them on Instagram, and I guess because I like her stuff, she sort of looked at me, and then that led down the podcast, and she saw that, so we started talking about the podcast and stuff, and so next thing you know, she wants me to come in and model clothes for her, and
you're like, oh my god, I'm such a celebrity.
I know, it's a cute little carriage house boutique in Raleigh, and I'm excited. Little plug there for you, but so I am going in this week to model.
God, you're such a fancy
and I'm
bitch.
Gonna get paid.
Oh,
I need to just get credit towards clothes, because that's what I'm gonna end up buying anyway.
Can you just pay me in clothing, please?
Yeah, they just need some content for social media and
that's cute
and whatnot. And I told her when I posted pictures, I'd tag her. So
that's
win-win.
Cute. That's fun. Well, wife brag. Ryan is in sales and, like half the people in America. And he was one of the top performers in his company. So now he's in the President's Club.
Oh, fancy.
It's so fancy. But as part of that perk, his company is paying for everyone who's in that club to go on a trip. So we're doing that next week. We're going to Marcos Island in Florida.
It's going to be fun.
I'm very excited.
Warm weather. Warm weather. I'm kind of jealous.
The loathe in your eyes was just like, yeah, that's going to be fun. Warm weather, you fucking bitch. Enjoy your sunshine, you dirty peasant. So I'm going, as like zhuzhing my life up. I'm,
Zhuzh. Spell zhuzh. We got into this the other day.
Oh, you spelled
Do you remember?
it? No.
I spelled it for you.
It's like
Z.
Stop. Yeah, I was going to say Z.
Z-H-U.
Yeah.
Z-H-U.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Z-H-U-Z-H. Zhuzh.
Bless you. So as to get ready and, get my life together, obviously I'm going to get like waxed and stuff, but I've decided that I saw a picture of Lucy Hale. Actress.
Oh, she's from Pretty Little Liars.
Yes.
See, I do.
And her hair is like super dark.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to dye my hair
dark brown.
Dark brown.
Well, when I met you, your hair was a lot darker.
Well, and let me tell you,
you
why
had never
that
colored
happened.
your hair.
No, my hair used to be like my natural hair.
Oh, it got
color.
darker when you got pregnant?
Yeah. You want to know why that is? Because my friend owns a hair salon, and she was baffled. She's like, what the fuck happened to your head? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My kids have ruined my body, including my hair. Yeah. And so it's like a melatonin thing.
Oh.
No, that's sleep. Yeah. Melanin.
You're right. No, I was all down with that. Yes, it is melatonin.
It is. Good night. Melanin. It's something. It's like sometimes how like pregnant women get like the splotchies on their face. What happens in your hair? You produce so much that like gets your, anyway, that's
Why couldn't it make my skin tan?
right. And anyway, made my skin disgusting. But so yeah, I'm going to
Florida?
what?
Florida.
I was going to say dye my hair dark, but yeah.
Oh, you're like, so
Florida
I'm
as
going
well.
to, and I'm sorry.
Okay. So today, yes. Anyway, so when I come back, my hair will be not Florida sun kissed. It will be dark, which I also looked, and that's like a trending hairstyle of 2023. So if you want to get with it, like dye your hair. Okay. Thanks.
I've actually been going back to more of my natural and less blonde
Darker.
as well.
Yeah.
Because my blonde ends are just breaking off. It's lovely.
God, we are so attractive. You're modeling. I'm zhuzhing. I mean, could we?
Could we get any better?
No is the answer. Anyway, let's focus on why we're all here. We're going to talk about elopements.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're talking about going away on a vacation.
Yeah,
and
it fits in perfectly.
So it's
I'm not going
perfect.
to elope while I'm there. I may not come back, but I'm not going to elope. So we're going to talk about how to plan elopement. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, what an elopement used to be, like not even that long ago, like 10,
run away.
15 years ago was yes.
Yeah.
You were running away. You weren't telling anybody.
Right.
There was no planning. It was just like, let's get married. Let's leave tomorrow. Let's go.
I mean, it could have been a
Vegas.
spur of the moment, or it could have been like, parents don't approve. We're
Yeah.
too young. Let's run
Let's
away.
go to the courthouse.
Yeah.
Let's get married. There was that used to be what an elopement is.
Mhm.
Today, it is more thought out.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. People
Yeah.
are eloping, and elopements now are. It takes 3 to 6 months to plan.
Mhm.
You are bringing people with you. It typically is a destination type thing. It's typically not like, whatever, going to the courthouse. It could be. Sometimes people find like cute courthouses, like, like nice courthouses to go to.
That would be fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
that would be a lot of fun.
I think about like New York.
Yeah.
And going
Find
to
some
like a
like historical building.
Yes.
or-
With like the arches and the gold. If I could do it all over again.
Oh, I have so many things I would do differently.
Oh, let us reminisce for a second. Riley, play some fun music. No, I'm just kidding. Michaela, add in some like thought bubble song.
But seriously though, elopements are like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's its own trend. I mean, thanks to COVID mostly.
Yes, that's when
but-
it really shifted.
Yeah.
And now it is like you bring your parents, you bring your close friends. It's more of like, what is that? Like mini moni, like
just like more of an intimate
situation.
Yeah, it can be a lot less expensive. It can not be.
Yeah,
but-
depending on, but
Yeah.
it typically is a lot less expensive. It typically isn't. It typically isn't like everything that you have. Like you're not gonna. You may not have a full caterer. You may not have whatever. Like
It's not as detail oriented. I would say.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Instead of me
with
going through the
with
entire
the
list.
amount of vendors that you would have if you were like staying in town and doing a big wedding, locally.
Yeah. So, yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, just talking about elopements and
Yeah.
like what they are. And
Would you have eloped? Looking back on yours?
you know what? I think this conversation comes up a lot. I would now, but that's because I had the wedding that I wanted.
Yeah,
and
we've
you
talked about
think
that.
about,
Yeah.
I think for people to say, oh, just elope, you'll save so much money. It's so much less. That's because you already had your wedding. You had your moment, you had your big wedding, you did what you wanted to do. And then you're like, oh, I would never spend all that money again. How dumb were we? We were so young and whatever. I wish we would have done this. That's because you had that first experience and you have something to compare it to.
We've talked about this before, but if you're new to listening to us, I'm going to tell you all over again. If you're not, then you get to hear it again. I was not that person. I did want to do a destination elopement type thing.
Yeah.
And I did not want to do the whole wedding ceremony reception. I wanted it to be very like small. I think for me personally, I think the smaller it is, the more fun it can tend to be because you're with your closer friends.
Yeah, potentially.
Everyone there is kind of like on the same vibe as you. You're not having to put your best foot forward.
You're not
for
playing a
your
role
family
in a play.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, Ryan's mom's side of the family, they all live in Ireland, and that's where she is from. And I wanted to get married in Ireland. I wanted to do a destination wedding. And I was like, whoever can come will come.
Right.
And whoever can't, they'll send money or gifts, whatever. It's fine. Like,
So both, I want both.
I want both, but like, whatever. But that's what I wanted to do. And we got, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months out from our wedding, and Ryan was the one that wanted the party. Ryan was the one that wanted this, the big ceremony, and and I did not. And we got like 2 or 3 months out, and he looked at me and he was like, is it still late? Is it too late to do a destination wedding now? And I looked and I was like, you know what a non-refundable deposit is? Yeah, fucking bitch.
I hate you.
I love that this is, but yeah, I did want to do that. I think it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, if you know, like you love to travel and you love to go abroad, so that seems perfectly in line with who you are and your personality. And I think if you are like that, or you don't like crowds, you don't like big people, attention on you and things like that, then if you know that, then an elopement would be a logical thing for you to want to do. But to ask, would you do it differently?
I don't regret my wedding, but I do still wish that we had done that. Yeah. Like, so I've talked to our wedding photographer, who is now just our life photographer, and we have made plans. Like the next time we go, I think we're gonna do like either like an anniversary shoot or something there that's like kind of like wedding-ish related. Maybe
she's gonna go to Ireland with you,
and she'll do like, because I already know the location that I want to do it in too. Because like obviously we go to see his family, so I already know exactly where I want it. Yeah. It's off a cliff that overlooks the ocean. It is absolutely stunning, and that is where I want to do it. Yeah. And so she's like, I'll come and do that.
Play for my plane ticket.
She's like, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So,
I mean, I think elopements are super fun.
I think and there are a lot of different ways.
I've never been invited to one, but I sure would like to be.
Well, I'll figure that out.
Okay. I just think it'd be like a mini vacation. So
let's take a break and let's talk about how to actually go about planning for an elopement. There are a lot of different kinds of elopements, but we're going to kind of generalize whether you're traveling or going to a courthouse, depending, any of that. We're going to kind of give you some 9 steps to break it down.
Like it.
Okay. How to plan. How are we planning your engagement?
Easy.
Easy.
I mean, compared to a wedding, well, okay. It is a wedding, but compared to a traditional
like
wedding,
150 person.
Right. Yeah. I would imagine that would be pretty easy. Yeah. So I've been told.
Or I'm about to tell you again.
Yeah. It'd be like planning a vacation.
So you got to decide.
I need to slow my roll. Okay.
You got to decide who's coming.
Yep.
That's your first thing that you want to do.
Or I would rather who's invited, because if it's a destination, they may not be able to come. But who's on your guest list?
I'm just encapsulating all elopement type things. Like who's on your guest list? Who do you want to come? Typically, an elopement, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, is 20 or less
people. Yeah.
20 or less people. One thing that you can do if you do want to have a smaller celebration, a smaller ceremony, you do want to elope, but you do want people to come. One thing that I have actually seen and I was invited to is the couple wanted to have a smaller, more intimate ceremony, but they ended up doing a like engagement reception like 6 to 8 months before. So like they had like a whole like they went to a venue. Like it was like a full on wedding reception
at home.
Yeah. In their home city. Yeah. It was like a full on wedding reception.
So it was like an engagement
to celebrate
party
with everybody, but like on a large, like a extravagant engagement party. And she wore like a really nice, pretty white dress. Like it wasn't a wedding dress, but I mean, it could have been the whole celebration. And it was just like a thank you guys for celebrating with us. And now they're going off and doing like a really, really small, intimate
I've also heard of it the opposite way as well. Like you go off to get married, just you and a handful of people, or just the two of you, and then come back and have the reception.
Yeah. So however you want to do it, you got to decide who's coming. Keep your group close. And this is where it's really nice because you can cut out all the fluff people that you really don't want to be there. And that sounds harsh.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the point.
That's the point. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The point of wanting to get away is, to an elopement, not a destination wedding per se. Those could be two different things. Yeah. But an elopement is to be more intimate.
Yes. So. Choose your elopement date and location. And the good thing with this is if you are staying local-ish, or if you are wanting to kind of do, like if you live, I don't know, far away from your, like a big city or something, like if you are in Texas and you want to go into Austin and you're 4 hours away, like that could be wherever you want to go. But if you're doing an elopement at a courthouse, you can get married on a Tuesday.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter what day, but you've got to pick a date. And it's so open. Like if you want to keep your date anniversary date or your first date, you pick whatever day means something to you. Yeah, keep in mind, is great.
Yeah, keep in mind at a courthouse though, you probably have to make appointments and things like that. So need to plan ahead.
I don't know if you do.
You can just show up at the courthouse?
Yeah, I think you can.
I didn't think you could do that.
One of my friends got married at the courthouse, and I'm pretty sure they were
I'll
just
answer
like,
that question next time.
Yeah. Yes. We'll come back to you with an answer. But pick your date, pick your location. If there's a location that means something to you, whatnot, that you have that time to do it. And like I said, I think I said this already, but it takes about 3 to 6 months to plan an elopement, unless you're just truly going and getting married at the courthouse. Hire a photographer, videographer. Most of the times I will say when you're doing an elopement, you don't really have a wedding planner because you really aren't using.
Right.
If you are traveling, you can get like a travel agent to help you with accommodations. But as far as an actual wedding planner, you don't necessarily need one. Now, I would say I would always recommend one.
Right. Unless you're going to like a resort and you're doing a package at the resort where the person is kind of facilitating all of that and you're using the vendors that they have employed to do those elopements.
We had an intern who did that, right? And we watched, they had a stream. They streamed their wedding.
Oh, yes.
Remember? Yeah. And that was it. They kind of did an elopement type situation.
Yeah, they did. But they kind of bought the package at the resort. And so everything was kind of like, show up at this time. The photographer was there. Here's your bouquet. Here's your,
and it was so cute.
It was very cute.
So hire a photographer, videographer if you want one. And then find a location. That isn't what I meant to write on our notes. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. Begin creating your day. That is one thing. While I'm pulling up my notes here from writing down the wrong thing, have an idea of what you want your day to look like. If you do want it to be outside, if you do want it to be at a courthouse, if you do want it to be in a backyard or in your family home, there's so many different ideas that you can curate around this.
It doesn't have to be like a destination type place.
No, it does.
It can be anything local. I have a friend whose daughter did a courthouse wedding here in Raleigh, and the pictures that she posted were all black and white. And it was, and you know, our city is very historical, being the capital city. And so the courthouse is very, a lot of granite and very well appointed and whatnot. And it was just so cool. The pictures looked like something out of a New York magazine.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
It was very cool. Now, I don't know if they did anything after that or not. Any kind of reception or a party, or maybe they just went back to their house and had catered food. But the pictures of the ceremony part were so amazing.
See, I love that.
Very edgy, very modern.
Like very like Vogue-esque.
Very, New York fashion magazine. That's what it looked like.
So I'm going to backpedal for a second. Choosing your elopement date and location, that would be like if you are going somewhere else, find your ceremony location. Two separate things. So like if you are going to go to Austin, I'm just using that as an example. If you are going to get married in Texas and you're from a smaller city outside and you know that you want to go to Austin and get married there, that's your date and location, but you need to find your ceremony location. So hone in, like we were saying, if you do want to get married in a specific spot, like for me, it would have been the mountainside in Ireland. Ryan, thank you for that. I'm over it. But so when you start designing and curating your day and getting that idea, kind of go into it knowing, I feel like people who know that they want to elope
already are kind of already on the creative.
They already know the vibe that they want.
They know what the vibe that they want. They know where they want their ceremony to be, and if they're going to have anything afterwards, any type of celebration, that they know what that's going to be as well.
Yeah, one of my friends, she did a courthouse wedding, and Ryan and I were their witnesses. And then we took them out, did like a little celebration toast afterwards, and then just met up with a group of friends afterwards, had dinner, drinks. Like, it was very chill, but it was a lot of fun. And that, I think that, there was no photographer, there was nothing there. It was just a fun day, which that can be as low key if you want to go that route. You don't have to do anything extravagant. Beach elopements. We keep talking about like courthouses, I think, because both of our minds are in that like historic, but
I think people, when they think about elopements, they think about destination weddings, which, like I was saying before, can be two different things. It's not like you're leaving your city. Well, you are leaving your hometown maybe to go somewhere else. I think a lot of people think about, let's just go to a Sandals resort or an all-inclusive resort somewhere and buy the package and do the thing there with a handful of people. And what I think is really unique about COVID and what happened during that time period was, when you couldn't get married in venues with large amounts of people who still wanted to get married got very creative with where they were going to get married. And of course they had to have smaller groups of people, especially if it was indoors. And I think that really spearheaded and jump-started the elopement trend.
Agreed.
Because people didn't want to wait to get married. And I think that's a really cool thing.
And it's still trending, which is so nice.
It is trending.
Because I think weddings in general will shift kind of like how they are. But I mean, when I was getting married, people were still like having 200 people weddings. And it's like, that's a lot. And that's crazy expensive. Yeah. And there's just no need for that many people.
Elopements are like a really nice and needed break from that. And I just really think that sometimes in situations that don't go the way that you want, something can be born out of that. So there's actually a company in Raleigh that does, they have different packages
for the elopements.
Yes, for elopements. And so it's like up to 20 or 25 to 50 or like maybe 50 to 75. They're still kind of considering that. And you buy a package and it includes everything you need. It includes a photographer, the flower, the cake. There's different things, like maybe it's a small cake where it's just you two cut. Yeah. But, and then you get a 20-minute ceremony and then a 1-hour little reception, and you buy these different packages. I think that's a really cool offering.
I do too.
I believe it's a coordinator / venue, but that's just a really cool offering, even if a venue wanted to do that. But you can go to, to another city, like you're talking about Austin, or a courthouse in a really cool city. I think there's a lot of options out there for elopements.
Okay, we're going to take a break. And we're going to come back and we're going to continue on our planning journey of your elopement.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Okay.
Let's continue on. We've gone through 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Now let's go the rest of the way. Book your accommodation and travel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we're encompassing a lot. Engagement kind of covers a lot. Over the break, I said something.
Engagement?
Elopement. God, Laura, listen. I said something really fucking wise during the break, like I just do and always do, did and always do. Now you lost my train of thought. Elopement can be like, I think elopement can be a play off of really anything. Like I think now it's not just like, we're going to Vegas, bye. It can be like, we're doing something other than the traditional.
Correct.
It's not a destination wedding. It can be. You can have a destination elopement, but I think it's just, we are not doing the traditional.
It's a small version.
Not even that. I think we are just doing our own take on how we want to get married.
Right.
We're not doing whatever this is over here.
Right. We're not doing a traditional wedding.
We're making our own thing.
Yeah. We're going to call it an elopement.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that kind of encompasses it all. So if you're, staying local, or if you're only going 4 hours away, or if you're leaving the country, you need to book accommodation and travel. Now, if you're staying local, I highly recommend still splurging and getting a hotel room for the night
100%.
and doing like some type of staycation, getting a suite, really engulf yourself in being married, celebrate yourselves, even if it's just you two that were there.
Agree.
Like,
that just sounds fun to do, even if I wasn't having an elopement.
I want to do that this weekend.
Same.
I'm trying to, splurge on myself always, but just getting that travel, getting your accommodation, start getting that lined up. That's why I said earlier, yes, a wedding planner is great, but it's not necessarily needed. But if you do some type of travel, a travel agent who can help you with all of this and help keep all of your reservations, and if you need a car, plane, hotel, kind of keep all that organized for you, that would be the easiest route. And we've said it once, and we'll say it every time we talk about a travel agent. Travel agents do not cost you anything.
Right. They're commission based from wherever
Wherever
they're
you're
booking.
booking.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that you should not get.
There's no reason people to not hire a travel agent.
And Laura is wagging her finger at all of you. Yeah, there's no reason not to. Travel agents are great. I love our travel agent. We use her for everything.
Yeah.
I've already talked to her about for other family trips that we're talking about, for even like next
I'm
year.
using one right now, actually.
See?
Specializing in Disney.
Oh my God. Did we go through the same person to find this person?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm talking also to someone who specializes in Disney.
Oh, yeah, no. I'll fill you in later.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so book your travel accommodation, hire additional vendors. This can be anything from like hair and makeup. This could be anything from, if you did want it, like a special caterer, baker, obviously you need a jeweler for your wedding bands or whatnot. It could also be like, if you just want to go out to dinner, book your like restaurant, get reservations made. It doesn't have to be a traditional quote unquote wedding vendor.
Right. If you're not utilizing those services in whatever you're doing, then you don't need them, but you'll need other types of services.
Right. Like you may not need a DJ, but if you want like music or something played at your ceremony or whatever.
Yeah. You might need a limousine, book a limousine
Yes.
to take you from the courthouse to the
To the hotel you're staying at. Treat yourself, girl.
Treat yourself.
But look at that. Look at any additional vendors that you might want to utilize.
Yeah.
Again, this goes back to creating your day, knowing the type of vibe that you want to go into it, really thinking full in depth about
Going back,
everything that encompasses your vision
right.
for what your elopement is going to
Yeah.
be.
Just going back to, wedding planners for a minute. If you are going to like a different city from where you live, then you might benefit from a wedding planner in that market that knows who the local vendors are. Maybe you just are doing a courthouse and then restaurants, but it could be worth it. Definitely.
And you can use them as like a partial planner. You don't have to utilize them. Also, as soon as you said that sparked my brain. Look at local bloggers, like food bloggers, people who travel a lot. Look at those travel bloggers, because they also have insights to restaurants, hotels. You definitely like look in and really take advantage of everything that's out there on the damn Google.
On the damn Google.
On the damn Google.
Oh boy.
Decide attire. If you're wearing a traditional suit, dress, or if you're like, nah, this is
super cool outfit.
Yeah. I
dig that.
Picture myself whenever we redo our Ireland marriage. I want to do like a really boho-y type
I can
lace,
see that.
kind of like crop top, because at this point
Like
I'll have my tummy
crochet-y.
tuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have my tummy
I don't
tuck
know
done
if
by
that's
then.
the right word, but you know what I'm
But
talking
yeah,
about.
like it's not like macrame kind of.
Yeah.
But yes, like a very like
Organic, natural.
yes, with
fiber.
like a very like loose flowing skirt, high-waisted, of course, because I'm still a mom and I'm classy. But like that's kind of the look and feel that I would go for. So get your attire. Vowed is a place that if you did want a wedding dress, you can get that dress within, I think, like 6 weeks is like the longest it takes to get shipped to you. And it is off and like an off the rack.
There's a lot of online companies that are off the rack, not just wedding, but like bridesmaids type. If you weren't wearing like a traditional gown,
right? If you wanted something a little nicer, but there are so many. Like Beholden is one, A&B is one, Vowed,
Beholden.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God, I just went into Anthropology the other day, and it's just I want to go over there in that little section because I want something that I need to wear something from that section in. Because even though most of it's like white, there's some blush and some off-white and stuff.
They had a really pretty floral.
I want to I need somewhere to go to wear that.
Well, let's plan something.
Okay.
Because I'm sick of being here. Sick of being here. So decide on your attire. And then the last thing is make it legal.
Yes.
We have talked about this, I think in our destination, like a true destination episode. If you are going to another state, if you are going to another country, if you want a friend to marry you, there are ways to go about doing this. If you go to another country though, you sometimes have to be there 2 weeks prior before you get married to apply for everything. So let's just simplest solution, go to your courthouse, get married, and then do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. I think it really depends on the vibe you're going for and where you're going.
Yeah.
Because you typically have to apply for a marriage license in the county that you live in. So
you do have to get your marriage license and you have like 30 days.
Yeah, it's valid for like 30 days or whatever. Yeah, you'd have to check that out. I'm not quite the expert on that. I'm sure if you went somewhere in the United States, you could probably do it in the locale of wherever you were going to be. But
but look into it. Like make sure that you...
Yeah, make sure you don't forget that component of it.
The legality.
Yeah, that's important to come home married.
Of it all. But like if you want a friend to get married, you can go... There are websites that you can do it. If you pay for them to get...
Ordained.
Yes,
whatever.
thank you. But the easiest way when we were talking about destination, just go to the courthouse. You could literally go in... Hey, married, check, and then leave. And you don't have to remember that date. That date doesn't have to be anything to you.
Right.
Celebrate the actual ceremony date. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be a thing. Because I feel like there's such a bad, like, oh my God, they went and they got married before they got married. And it's like, just because it depends. Fucking tricky. Like it's hard to my friend that I was talking about. Yeah. That was her thing. Like they did a destination wedding. It was just going to be too complicated to go back, forth.
Yes, in that situation.
That's what it was. It was just easy to do it, get married, make it legal. Boom. Now I can have the wedding that I want to have.
Yeah. I think if you're going to do a courthouse elopement, then you're probably safe to just get married at that courthouse wherever you go. Yeah. But if you're going to do a destination in a country outside of the United States or someplace outside the United States or, abroad, wherever, it might just be easier to do that. Yeah. Saves a lot of time and aggravation and pre-planning and all of that.
All of that. It just makes it so much easier. Okay.
That's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
So now you're married. Congratulations. Best of luck.
Oh my God. Best to you and yours. Love that. Okay. If y'all have any engagement. Why do I keep saying that? Elopement. If you have any elopement stories, if you've been a part of an elopement. Oh my God. You know what also is fun? We can talk about this in a later episode, but when you go to a engagement party and then they're like, you're at our wedding.
Oh yeah. Surprises. Yes. Oh, we should do a whole episode on surprises.
Supplies.
Wow. That came full circle.
Send us your elopement stories at stories@cheersthatshit.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube, leave us reviews on Apple, Spotify. 5-star only. Thank you so much.
That will surely help skyrocket our career really quickly.
Tour dates coming soon. And we will be back with you guys next week.
Have a great one.